And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, for another edition of That's a Bet podcast. You know who it is. It's your boy, 2T's, coming to you live from the Tap Studios. And guys, this is another edition of our Sports Betting 101 episode series. This is our sixth show. We're going to talk about bankroll. We're going to talk about your money, how to manage your money. But I can't talk about managing money without bringing in the greatest co-host in all of podcast land. Y'all know him as Willy J or Willie Baby, but Willie Baby is having a baby, guys. So you can't talk about Willie Baby without calling him Willie Baby, baby. What's good with your Willie Baby, baby?
In this betting stuff, neck deep. Can't believe this is my life, yet I love my life, man.
Hey, man, you got to love it, man, and I love it too. So with that being said, Willie J, man, we are going to talk about bankroll. We have went through 5 episodes, Will. We have talked about the spread. We have talked about the juice. We have talked about the money line. We have talked about over-unders, and we have talked about parlays. But we are going to talk about on this episode, Will, arguably the most important thing of all of sports betting, and that is your bankroll. And pretty much how you kind of manage it. So before we jump into how important that is, though, Will, let's go ahead and let them know where they can follow you on social media, man.
Group 13 Sports. That's Instagram and Twitter. Group 13 Sports.
That's Group 13 Sports for Willie J. You guys can follow me at Pineapple Picks 2Ts. That's on Instagram and Twitter. Again, at Pineapple Picks 2Ts. And follow the show, guys, at That's a Bet Podcast on Instagram and on YouTube. Make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment. We definitely appreciate all the love. So, all right, Willie J, with that being said, man, bankroll. Whew, man. We saved this one for last because this literally is the most important aspect of being a disciplined, responsible, and profitable sports bettor. Will, I think those three go hand in hand when you were talking about your bankroll, and you always have to keep tabs on your bankroll. For me, this is like my bread and butter. I kind of live by the whole bankroll system, percentages that I'll get into here in a little bit, Will, but it really keeps you from managing your bankroll, keeps you from going into this spiral, this down roll, like just losing cash so fast, and you could be up $100 1 hour, in the next hour you are down 300 type of spiral. You see, look, he's tapping his chest. Willie J will get into it once I'm finished here, but essentially, guys, your bankroll is like an account that you use just like a bank account, like you would use regular, but this is your sports betting account. And the idea behind your bankroll is to keep track of your money, your wins and losses, but it's very important to know your wins and losses isn't just, oh, I won the bet, I won $100. Oh, I lost the bet, I lost $100, or I lost $110. It's understanding what you wagered based off the juice, based off the money line, and can you really afford $100 bet if your bankroll is $100? That's what you have to ask yourself in this whole thing. So, first of all, for me, I think the biggest thing I always tell people, Will, is you always bet what you are willing, the amount that you are willing to lose, that basically will have you like not on the street. See what I'm saying? So if you have $50 in your pocket and you say to yourself, out of this $50, I'm only willing to lose $1 out of this to feel comfortable, then you are a dollar better, right? If you have $200 in your pocket and you want to bet on a game and you say, I'm willing to lose $100 out of this $200 and I can still go on with my day, not miss a beat. I'm not going to cry about it. I won't, it won't hurt me that much. Okay, then you can bet $100. But I still say that's irresponsible.
Yeah, because here's the thing. Let me jump in real quick.
Okay.
Just like you said, if you've got $50 and you're willing to lose $10 out of that $50.
Yep.
Okay, well now you take that 10 out, say, okay, this is what I'm losing or willing to lose. But now you've got to that $10 is your bankroll per se. So now you got to break that $10 down into percentages and pieces, which is what you'll elaborate on a little bit further. But I just want you guys to understand, if you're gonna only lose $10 out of that $50, you've got to understand to pace yourself. You don't want to drink from a fire hose. You want to drink, from under the tap water in the sink. You want to take little pieces. You don't want to risk it all on one. You want to
Yep.
break that thing down.
Yep, exactly. And Will said it best. You do not want to drink from a fire hose, and the fire hose technique is the number one way that people have lost money and never got into the betting game again. And those are the people that always talk bad about the profession. And it's just like flipping a house. If you go into it not having the knowledge, not knowing the spread, the juice, the over under, the money line, and knowing about parlays, you're going to jump into it and just be totally, lost, and you're going to lose money fast. You're going to be burning money. So that kind of leads me to the second part of managing your bankroll. The first was you have to learn and know what you can afford to lose. That's the first one. The second, you only need to bet a percentage of what you can lose. And Will talked about that. So the range that I kind of go off of here, Will, like a good example would be between 3 and 5% of that $10, like Will talked about, out of that 50 that you're willing to lose. So in essence, if you look at it like that, I mean, that's $3 or $5 is like the max you should bet in that. Technically 3-5% is lower than that. That's like 30 cent, 50 cent. But I'm just giving you guys like a more so easy a number example that you can, easy example. So 3 to 5% of what you can afford to lose on a single play. So that's a bet. I want to put $3 on the Atlanta Falcons to not lose to the New Orleans Saints spread of their +6, so they're underdog. So I'm gonna put $3 on them out of that 10. So you just lay $3, or depending on the juice, you probably had to lay $3.50 or $3.10 to win $3 out of that. Right. That's the juice. And that's the bet that you should make and feel comfortable with. The irresponsible play in that scenario is to play 50%, 100%. And we can get into some, I just want to name a guy 200%. That 200% of your bankroll, Vegas Dave. And if you guys are new to the game, please do not mess with this guy. I mean, he charges you an arm and a leg, and he wants you to bet 200% of your bankroll. So you have $50 in your pocket, and you're going to bet $150, $200. So you're going to go into your other pocket to grab the money that you can't touch and put it on something that isn't guaranteed. No, you're not going to do that. So 3 to 5% Will is what I kind of live off by. That's my Bible. Do not go above that on any single bets. If you stick to that consistently and you are following a good value plan, it's just like anything. If you're taking $100 out your check that you get paid every week and you don't touch it, you're disciplined with it. Over time, over 10 weeks, Will, you're going to have $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is. You're going to save that up. So those are my two that's what I live by. 3 to 5% bankroll, only bet what you can afford to chalk up and lose. If you're going above that, you're going to have issues and problems. Now, Will, I kind of want to get your side of it. Willie J here is a little bit less technical like I am with his bankroll. So I want him to talk about kind of how he looks at things and rolls with it.
Well, because I like to look at myself in two different lights. I pro handicap it, but I don't pro bet, right? I'm a recreational money spender or a bettor when it comes to the betting, but I will give analysis and, do the research as if I was a pro handicapper. So I'm very undisciplined with that. And I won't even lie, I'm a little undisciplined. It translates from life. I spend money on crazy stuff all the time, right? So I'll go and I'll see a bet. I say, oh, I feel real good about this. I might go 100% or 200%, but at the same time, what I'm betting, I don't necessarily have a disciplined bankroll, but what I'm betting at the end of the day, I'm okay with losing it. My son's gonna not have to worry about not eating if I lose, right? So yeah. It's not a situation like that. It's just the money I put on bets fluctuates. It just depends on how I'm feeling that day, right? Yeah. So I'm very undisciplined, and it burns me sometimes, and then I'm sitting pretty sometimes. But I'm not a guy who you look at and say, hey, this guy is disciplined. I'm not in it to make a large amount of money over the long haul because I'm not betting every night, that kind of thing. I'm a recreational bettor with pro analysis on it, if it makes sense.
Got you. Yep, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat too. Will. I mean, me and Will, and well, I kind of want to say this to everybody to let everybody know. We are giving you a playbook of how to handle your bankroll. But I'm not sitting here saying I am perfect. There has been many a times where I have stepped outside of my 3 to 5% bankroll management and done some stupid things. It's going to happen, guys. It's life. You're going to see a Super Bowl or a big moment, national championship, those bigger games, and you're going to try to increase it a little bit. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you lose. It's going to happen. But if you can have a baseline of what you want to do on the regular, that's how you win and you beat the house long term. That's the thing I think I really want to stress to everybody, that sports betting is a long game, and your bankroll is integral in tracking it in order for you to truly know, okay, did I profit this year? Did I profit this week? Did I profit this month? Unit systems, we'll get into that a little bit later, but that's something that helps you too, because that kind of tracks the juice versus you know what you're wagering. Because even if you, in a day, let me give you a quick example. In a day, if I make 3 bets, and I bet $100 on each bet, the first bet I had to bet $110 to win 100. All right, so in essence, I have pretty much $110 at risk to get it back. If I win, I'll get back 210. Because I had to put down 110 to get 100, but you get back 210, but you still only profited $100. You don't count that $10. So a lot of people are like, oh, I got back 210. No, you got back $100. You had risked 110. So it's one of those things, man. I'll break that down another show. I don't want to get too deep into it to confuse you because it's a lot. But that a lot of people get caught up in, oh man, I just won $500. Yeah, you just risked 800 to win 500. You only netted $300. You know what I'm saying? Like in your net bankroll, technically you're really only putting $300 back into your pocket to walk out that day. You're up 300. You're not up 500. People get so caught up in that. But bankroll wise, was there any other like Bible type of theory or method that you stick by for bankroll that can kind of help people, stay disciplined?
No, I wouldn't say there's anything that I stick to or there's a, perfect rhyme or reason. At the end of the day, I just tell people, do what's comfortable to you, right? It's just like, I hate to use this analogy, but it's like seeing pornography. Porn when you see it. 100%. There is no black or white area. As a bettor, what you can do and what you can't do. So you got to use that in the back of your mind. And I'll just tell, because you got a very large clientele portfolio, whatever you want to call it. If you join on with Lockett 2Ts and his, Pineapple Picks, and you're paying for, subscription to his picks, what you have to expect is that he's going to always give you the black and white, easy way to understand how to manage your bankroll. He's going to put you in a situation to be responsible and make money over time. So that's why we're just introducing this to you guys, so you understand. Once you join on with his subscription with his picks, he's going to always tell you. He's going to talk to you in terms of units, managing your bankroll, and you're going to understand exactly where we're coming from. Yep. Not saying we always follow that to the T, because everybody does what they are and what they're comfortable with, but anytime you're paying for picks or, looking for some advice on how to bet, he's going to give you the proper way of doing it.
Yep. So. Yep. And to kind of piggyback off of that, if you find an individual who is going above 100% of your bankroll, even guys that are saying put 75%, 50%, I mean, that is just ludicrous. That is not a successful way of betting long term.
50
and those
units
guys,
Maxwell bet, stuff like that.
Yeah, like when you see that kind of stuff, guys, that should be a red flag. I'm not telling you guys to follow Pineapple Picks and join on my subscription. To be honest with you, I'm the person. I would rather you sign up with somebody who's responsible like I am. If it's a competitor, it doesn't bother me. I just want you to be profitable. Like, I've put people onto other places because I knew that person was good. It made more sense for them, and it I want you to make money. Willie J wants you to make money. The easiest way to make money is to have a disciplined bankroll, and you're betting X amount of dollars every single play. You are going to step outside of that, and that is okay. Don't freak out if you do and it loses. You just can't do that. Okay, every 3 bets, I'm going to increase it. No, it may be you may go 35, 40 bets, the same dollar amount, $5, $5, $5, $5. And then that 41st one, you put $10, or you may do 20 because you're on a little bit of a streak. Cool. But whether you win or lose, you go back to your 5. You always need to go back to what you do.
Don't put your mortgage on it. Don't risk your livelihood on it. That's all we're saying.
Do not do that, guys. And I'll be the first to tell you, kind of give you a little backstory. One of the reasons why I do this now is because I was one of those people. There was an example, and I'm not going to get into like number details, where I put a large amount of money on a site and played with it. And I got up. Say it was $1. I got up to $400 off of $1. That next week, I got down the amount I had put on the site. Major money. I'm talking about money to the point to where I was like, oh my gosh, I'm about to lose everything. It was crazy. But it took that for me to understand, you got to be disciplined. Like, you can't be putting, mortgage and all this kind of stuff on bets, even no matter how hot you are, how good you think you are, how sharp you are.
Come back down.
It's going to come back down. It's always ebbs and flows. So,
and some books love that when the players win a few, because it's just like taking that first hit of that crack rock. They say, come on back. We know you're coming back. You experienced that high. Yep. So, at some point, hey, I already won this before. I know I could do it again. You're going to keep chasing your money, and then you'll be out on the streets.
Yep, exactly. And we do not want you guys on the streets. So, again, bankroll management, just to give you guys the 2 quick hitters here, make sure you only betting what you can afford to chalk up in one sitting. With that money that you can afford, then we say 3 to 5% of that amount is what you should be betting per bet. Nothing more. It definitely can be less, but nothing more. And that's how you truly manage your bankroll. But Will, I'm glad we did this for the people, man. This is kind of wrapping up our series here. We talked about the spread. We talked about the juice. We talked about the money line. We talked about over/under parlays, and now we're wrapping up with bankroll. Is there any last kind of thoughts you want to give to the people? Just kind of over everything, and just who wants to jump into sports betting?
No, I just say, hey, be prepared to lose, because to be considered profitable with that juice, that VIG, that fee that we talked about, in order to be profitable, was it 57.5%, 58%, something like that?
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, you got to win more than 50% of your bets. And I'm just telling you right now, if you're considered, the best handicappers in the world aren't any further than 60-something%, right? So. Yep. This is not a situation where you're going to hit 100% of the best. You're going to lose. So be prepared to lose, and just don't risk your livelihood on it.
Yeah, exactly. I've kind of the same thing for me to kind of wrap everything up. If you need to listen to these 6 episodes over and over, like if you want to make a bet on the spread and you want to jump back and listen to our podcast, we will definitely keep this up for as long as we need to on YouTube and on all the platforms. Because the biggest thing I think everybody needs to understand is, if you don't know something in the sports betting world, don't be naive and just lay the bet because it don't matter. You need to know what you're doing, what you're touching. It's just like driving a car. If you don't know how to operate the vehicle, are you really going to get behind the wheel? Some people say, yeah, but that's why people get DUIs, getting wrecks. But same thing with sports betting. If you don't understand the game, ask the questions, find people that know it. Don't be afraid to ask, or don't be afraid to come back on this to check out this podcast. But this definitely, if you have any questions, me and Willie J will always be there to help you guys out. Willie J is at Group 13 Sports is his handle. He definitely will answer, man. He's very interactive. Trust me, he will respond to you. I'm at Pineapple Picks 2 T's, or you can just hit up the show. Me and Willie J will answer that, man. At That's a Bet Podcast. But again, this has been fun, Will. I'm glad we were able to give the people this foundation, these 6 pillars pretty much of sports betting. And if you guys need anything from us, definitely hit us up. But for 2Ts, that's Willie J. It's been cool, man. 6 episodes of That's a Bet Podcast, Sports Betting 101. We will see you guys on our regularly scheduled podcasts that come out each week. But appreciate you guys checking in, man. We'll see y'all soon. All right. Peace out.